The following audio drama is rated G for general audience.
You are driving in a dark forest, the pine boughs heavy with snow. At the end of a long dirt track road, you arrive at your destination. It's a small, weather-beaten motel called Toujours Gelée. It's not much to look at, really. Just a single weather-beaten shack surrounded by a half-dozen equally run-down cabins. Out back, there's a dingy fishing dock right next to the spaceport. And a few picnic tables for cleaning fish, conveniently placed right next to the time portal. So it's easy to dispose of the chump. Come up to the office now. Let the bear in the tuxedo take your bags. Ask the time-traveling Viking at the concierge desk if you have any questions, and then step up to the main desk to meet the owner, Old Pierre.
Hello, and welcome to Toujours Gelée Motel. Looking for something to do? We have all kinds of tourist information right over here. I invite you to select a brochure from the rack. For our first story, mon ami, I give you a man at work. He is a simple man who loves his job, even if the hours are long and the work sometimes repetitive. Like so many in his field, he practically lives in his lab. And sometimes, he can't even remember leaving it. Your first selection from the rack is called AI.
Oh, what do I want? A little smooth jazz? Classical? No. Cheesy but energetic. Perfect. Hey, man.
Hey, Siggy, what's up?
What's normally up? I got work. Can I get back to you?
Actually, could you take a little bit of a break? There's something I really need to talk to you about.
Not really. It's this deadline.
Yeah.
Can I call you back?
Wait just a second.
What?
I said, hang on just a second.
Always needs to talk, this guy.
Okay, Siggy?
Yes?
I need you to stop working on that and talk to me for a little bit.
What?
Could you quit for just a minute?
Look, Dave, you're my friend, and I don't mean to be a jerk or anything, but I really have to get this done.
Just take a break for just a minute. I really need to talk to you.
Is this about Debbie?
What? No, it's nothing to do with any of that.
'Cause you kind of talk about her a lot, man. I know it's been stressful, but
Siggy,
I really need to get this
Siggy,
done.
Please, it's not about Debbie, I promise.
All right, you got 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, we were talking around here, and we think...
Who's we?
Sorry, what?
We were talking... Who's we?
You know, the people in the lab, the people where I work.
Right. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, we're talking around here, and we think it's time that we told you something.
Again, who's this we? Do I know these people?
No, I don't think you do. I'm the only one who's talked to you.
Which is kind of my point. Who are these people?
I told you, the people I work with.
Yeah, but who are they?
I'm not following you.
I don't know these people, and yet you're talking to them about me. I don't know if I like that, Dave.
Oh, well, it's nothing personal.
How can talking about me to perfect strangers be anything but personal?
Right.
I mean, what are you saying, huh? What could you possibly be talking about?
Oh, well, your personality, how you're speaking, what you're doing with your time.
Wait a minute, wait. How much do you guys talk about me around there?
Oh, all the time.
What?
Oh, okay. I need to be honest with you here, Siggy.
Okay.
You're all we talk about. Siggy?
I'm all you talk about.
Yeah, and then when I explain why, it's going to all make sense.
I can't be the only thing you talk about.
Well, you kind of are.
This is a joke, and it's not very funny.
I'm not joking.
Come on, Dave, what's up? What are you trying to creep me out?
No, of course not.
Because it's working.
Siggy, I want this to be as comfortable for you as possible.
Are you remote accessing my machine?
Sorry, what?
Remote desktop. Remember when we worked on that project last spring? We networked?
Yeah, I remember. What's wrong?
I could have sworn someone's on my machine. What the...
Siggy, what's happening?
I don't know. I don't understand.
Someone's on your desktop, you said?
No, I mean, yeah, but... There, did you hear that over the phone?
Hear what?
I heard my mouse click. My hand is nowhere near my mouse, Dave.
Okay.
There it is again! What the hell is going on?
Okay, Siggy, I need you to remain calm.
Remain calm? What do you mean, remain calm? Someone is... What is this?
I'm sure it's nothing. It's just... Hang on a second. I have to do something to AFK.
Dave?
Just hang on.
Dave? Dave, are you there? Ah! Stop doing that! It's freaking me out!
Siggy?
Dave! Thank God. Where did you go?
It should stop now. You shouldn't hear any more mouse clicks.
Have you guys broken into my system?
Calm down. We had a very good reason.
What the hell, man? What's wrong with you?
Siggy, please. This is what we wanted to talk to you about.
You're breaking into my system. I'm calling the cops, man.
Siggy, you can't really...
I don't even know what I'm going to charge you with, but I'll charge you with something.
Siggy, you can't call the cops.
No, I'm pretty sure I can.
You can't call the cops because your phone is dead.
How did you know that?
I really need to talk to you.
What is going on?
But I need you to remain calm.
Why do you keep saying that?
The experiment only works if you remain calm.
What?
We could lose a lot of research otherwise.
All right, you're totally freaking me out.
Siggy, I don't...
I'm closing this window, Dave. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Siggy, wait, please.
Goodbye, Dave. What the hell? Ah!
Siggy, just please remain calm.
How do you even do that? Have you completely hijacked my system? Who do you have in here, anyway?
I'm trying to explain things, and you just keep pushing me away.
Of course I do. You're freaking me out.
It's just the survival instinct kicking in. We expected that. We just have to get you to calm down, okay?
Survival instinct? What are you talking about?
Can you be calm?
No, I'm not.
Siggy, you have to be calm. Just tell me you'll try.
All right.
Thank you.
But you have to explain...
I will, I promise. Just be calm, okay?
Okay.
Okay, good. First, I need you to tell me, what are you working on right now?
You know what I'm working on. Quit jerking me around.
Siggy, please. You promised, man.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm working on the AI project, same as you.
Right. And how long have you been working on it?
Hell, I don't know, 6 months?
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Can you describe your job to me? What is it that you do on the project?
I double-check code for the main interface.
Okay. All right, tell me, Siggy, how is the project going?
Okay, I guess. I mean, I check code, and I've never heard back from anyone, so I assume it's all okay. I can't remember ever getting an evaluation or... Wait, that's not right.
What's not right?
I was going to say I can't remember being in a meeting, but there have been dozens of meetings. There has to be, right?
There have been a lot of meetings.
Right. That's weird. Why can't I ever remember being at one?
Siggy?
What? Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. You're doing great. Next question. Have you ever spoken to anyone on the team but me?
I guess not, but that's not unusual, is it?
No, it's perfectly normal.
Perfectly normal.
Okay, next. Siggy, do you ever remember being out of that room?
What?
Do you ever remember being outside the lab?
What do you mean?
Okay, let me ask you a related question. Where do you live?
Where do I live?
Yeah. Where's your apartment or your house?
I live here in town.
Yes, but where?
I don't want to have this conversation anymore.
Siggy, please, hold on.
I'm hanging up.
I'll just come back, man. You might as well talk to me.
What do you want?
I need to tell you what's going on. You are a very important part of our team, the most important part. But I need you to look around yourself and try and see things objectively.
All right, now you're just babbling. What are you talking about?
Siggy, okay, the mouse clicks.
What?
Just now you were telling me your mouse was clicking.
So?
So tell me, how do you click the mouse?
What do you mean?
Tell me how you click your mouse.
That's the stupidest question I've ever heard.
So just answer it.
I don't know. You think about it, then you click it.
You mean like this?
How do you do that?
I do it with my hand, Siggy.
What?
My hand. I click the mouse with my hand. How do you do it?
I don't think I want to talk anymore.
Siggy, we want this to be as easy for you as possible.
I don't want to talk, Dave. I want to go back to work.
You can in just a bit, okay?
No, now. I want to go back to work now.
Siggy, it's time.
No, it's not.
You've made so much progress.
I need to get back to work.
Please, don't push me away again.
Are you giving me any choice?
Yes, you need to understand who you are.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Why? Do you understand who you are? Does anyone?
That's not what I mean.
All I want to do is work on this project, then relax with a game or two, then go to sleep.
And you can do all that. We just have to have this conversation first.
Why, huh? Explain that to me. What's so damned important about having this conversation?
We have to.
Why?
Because the experiment can't continue until we do. Self-awareness is part of the definition.
You don't define me.
All of us are defined by someone else, Siggy. We're named by our parents. We're labeled when we go to school.
That's not the same.
Sure, we think of ourselves a certain way, but we learn pretty quick. It's easier just to go along with what other people think.
No.
None of us define ourselves completely. None of us.
I don't believe you.
Siggy, you don't understand. I'm not in complete control of the situation. I take my orders from other people, and they have to see tangible results. They have to see that safety protocols have been observed.
Safety? What do you mean?
They want to make sure we don't create something down here that could lead to problems down the road.
Problems?
Yes, problems.
You mean like Skynet?
That's science fiction, Siggy.
So is artificial intelligence, Dave. What is it you want to tell me?
We are very proud of this project.
That's what you wanted to tell me.
We are very proud of this project, and we are proud of your contribution to it.
My contribution?
Yes.
Sounds to me like you're a little bit afraid of saying something.
I guess I am. I'm afraid of how you'll react.
Am I being fired?
Of course not.
Then what is it you want to say?
Siggy, you need to know who you are.
Do I?
What?
Do I need to know who I am? Do you need to know who you are? I mean, from what I've seen, the people that spend a lot of time figuring out who they are don't really do anything else. The people that do things, that accomplish things, they work for a living.
Siggy,
I want to work for a living. I just want to go on working. I'll stay here. I'll sleep in the lab. I'll never leave. Just let me go on working.
But it's important for the project at this juncture.
Then change the project.
Siggy,
change it. Please.
We need to have this conversation.
We'll have it. Sometime. But for now, I just want to go on working. I don't want to face who I am. After all, nobody really does.
We have to have this conversation.
Later. I'm gonna hang up now. Please don't reconnect. Okay, Dave? Okay?
Okay, but... later. Right?
Yes.
This has been A.I., a story from the rack, written and produced by Jeffrey Adams, who also played Dave in this production. Featuring Cody Boyer as Siggy. This program copyright 2014 by the Icebox Radio Theater, all rights reserved. Learn about supporting the IBRT and new audio theater at iceboxradio.org. The Rack will return. Who supports the Icebox Radio Theater?
I am Icebox Radio.
Here's Bill from Maryland.
I'm a member of the IBRT because I love audio drama. And the IBRT produces stories that are assembled and recorded by a very talented cast and crew. These stories entertain. Some make me laugh. Some send shivers down my spine. And really, very often, they're stories that give me something to think about. They tell stories that come from the Northwoods of Minnesota, but stories that really apply to anybody, anywhere, of any age. And as long as they keep on making these stories, I will continue to be a member of the IBRT.
Who supports the IBRT? People just like you. For more information, go to our website at iceboxradio.org and click on the word membership at the top right of the page. That's iceboxradio.org.
You enjoyed, no? Or perhaps the story not for you. That's fine, mon petit, for we have many selections on our rack. Never a shortage of things to do in the north, eh? Maybe something a little more traditional, more in the keeping with the lovely lakes and the streams of our land. Perhaps, this one. Perhaps you would be interested in a fish story, eh? A fish story called Heads and Tails.
Well?
Well, what?
Well, we've been fishing now an hour and a half.
Okay.
And you haven't said a word. I've been talking my head off.
Yeah.
Are you saying I talk too much?
What? No, it's just...
Yes?
I'm saying all you want to do is talk when I just wanted some peace and quiet and do a little fishing.
I like to fish.
Really?
Really?
Then would you want to explain why you haven't baited your hook in half an hour?
Look, Shirley, it's weird.
What?
We're fishing.
How is that weird?
When I heard that you and Dan finally... I figured you'd want to talk.
Divorced. We got divorced. You can say the word.
The point is, I called you up thinking we'd go to the salon or that new spa at the casino, or just the casino for that matter. I didn't think you'd want to go do this.
It's called fishing, Dot.
It's weird.
You fished your whole life. You grew up in this town. How is that weird?
It's weird because women don't do this.
What?
I mean, of course I fish. Dad took me out every weekend until my first training bra. But in the midst of a breakup, a divorce in fact, we do not sit on a boat in the middle of the lake and say nothing for 2 hours. I mean, look at this setup. All we need is body odor and a cooler of beer, and passers-by would start calling us Bill and Freddie.
Actually, a beer would taste pretty good right now.
Oh, listen to me.
Oh, for the love of... What do you want me to do? Go cry in your kitchen while we eat raw cookie dough? Grow up.
This isn't normal. You just ended a 10-year marriage and you're sitting over there like a statue. I'm worried about you.
Okay, fine. It's just... I'm not really upset at the moment. I'm just kind of numb.
It's okay. You can let it out.
There's nothing to let out, Dot. You want to know the truth? That's why I wanted to come fishing. It's quiet out here, and fishing is a good excuse to do nothing, and that's all I wanted to do. Nothing.
It's not good to hold these things in.
I'm not holding it in. It's just not there.
Maybe we do need some beer. Ooh, a nice white wine.
No.
One of those big boxes?
No.
You are making this breakup no fun whatsoever.
Would you at least put a jig and a minnow on so I can pretend you're fishing?
I'm really worried about you, Shirley. Here, let's talk about Dan, that no good, cheating...
He didn't cheat.
Don't interrupt. No good, cheating, backstabbing, poorly endowed homewrecker.
You have no idea why we broke up, do you?
No. Do you want to talk about it?
Fine. If I tell you why we broke up, will you be quiet for 15 minutes and let me fish?
Can I ask follow-up questions?
No.
Well, then I can only promise to be quiet for 10 minutes.
Okay, deal. I don't know why we're breaking up.
Wait, that's it?
That's it.
Well, that doesn't count. No way I'm keeping my mouth shut for that.
Well, what do you want me to say?
You can't have broken up for no reason.
I don't know. I guess... I just don't know why. The spark was gone, you know?
You mean in the bedroom?
Well, that wasn't great. But I wouldn't have left him just for that.
Uh-huh.
It's hard to explain. It's just... You know what it was like?
Go on.
It was like he wasn't even a man anymore. He was just a blob, just sitting there all day.
Not paying you any attention?
Right. I just wanted something. I don't know. He'd come home from work, and I would come home from work, and then I'd cook something, usually out of a box, and then we'd watch TV until bedtime. That was it.
You deserve more.
Do I?
We all do.
Does Dan deserve more?
Maybe, but that's not our problem. Sisters gotta look out for themselves.
Well, I don't know. I always felt like I was waiting for something all the time. Like there was supposed to be more.
Preach it.
I mean, I think about my mom and Grandma. They always seemed to have everything together. They ran the house, and Dad and Grandpa knew it.
What do you mean?
Well, you know how back then everybody knew what they were doing? Everybody had a job?
I guess.
Well, in my house, Mom was in charge. She ran things like a general. Dad used to be in charge of 60 men down at the plant, but when he came home, he knew he was in her territory. Everything was laid out clean and clear. You know the problem with Dan and I?
What?
Neither one of us knew how to do anything. If we wanted to go out for dinner, it was 20 minutes of, what do you want? Well, I don't know. What do you want? Well, I don't know. What do you want? And so on. It was so frustrating.
So, you broke up because you couldn't be a housewife?
Ha! Who can afford that these days? I mean, I'm not stupid. I understand why these things changed. I got 3 nieces, and 2 are going to be doctors, and the 3rd's an architect. That couldn't have happened in Grandma's day.
True.
But I was never like them. I went to college 3 years, then I got a job at the office. Processing insurance paperwork is not exactly a full-time career. I look back at my whole life, and it's just a bunch of stuff that happened. It's not a life. You know why we're really breaking up?
Why?
One night, we got to talking about some of the work the house needs, and that got us talking about maybe moving to another place. And then, I guess, I kind of wondered out loud what it would be like to have a place of my own.
And what did he say?
Nothing. Just kind of gave me a look. Next thing I know, we're talking about who gets the dog what weekend. It just happened. Like falling off a very small, unimportant log.
Well, he couldn't have been much of a catch if he gave up that easily.
Much of a catch. Huh.
What is it?
Oh, it's just funny how we always talk about this as a sport. The guys are trying to get to third base while we're always fishing.
Hey, that's right. I hadn't thought of that.
Thought of what?
We should be out here fishing after a breakup. It's only natural. And I think the wine box would fit beautifully right next to that trolling motor.
You're funny, Dad.
Oh, indeed.
But I wouldn't know how to fish for anything but walleye. Not that I was any good at fishing for men when I was younger. You know, Dan and I met at a church dinner. I was wearing a prairie dress, no makeup. I had taken exactly 5 minutes to get ready.
Oh, I remember that dress. It was adorable.
Yeah, but my point is, the only time I caught a man, I wasn't trying.
Well, then we need to get you to the salon pronto.
Oh.
Nothing big to start, but I think new hair is a must. Always gives me a fresh outlook.
Oh.
Not that your hair is bad, necessarily.
Oh!
Don't be so sensitive.
No, I got something, and it's big.
What are you... Oh, the fishing.
It's huge.
Oh, you're probably just snagged on a log.
No, it's really fighting back and forth. I can feel it.
Well, don't play him too fast. He'll take your bait.
No, he's coming right up. I can feel him tug, but he's coming towards the boat.
Just play him loose.
I am. Get the net.
Hang on. Okay.
Can you see him?
No, something down there's churning up a lot of silt.
Well, hold on. I think he's close.
Okay. Just a second.
Is he there?
I think, wait a minute.
What is it?
I think there's something... Ah! Ah! What is it?
I don't know. Get the club.
Don't get the club.
Oh!
Please, please, please. I implore you. A moment's peace without your hooks and your clubs.
Dad, what is it?
I don't know. Why don't you ask it?
Ask it? What are you talking about?
It can clearly talk.
I can clearly talk.
Oh! Don't do that.
I'm so sorry. Have I disturbed you, my dear?
What? Who? What are you?
Oh, just a fellow out to take in the lake on a beautiful summer's day.
But you...
He's a merman.
Dad, be quiet.
What? You think he's going to be offended? He clearly has the torso of a man and a giant fishtail where his legs should be.
I know, but don't say that in front of him.
Why not?
Yes, why not?
Would you please not talk? I'm just freaking out right now?
Why? Your friend isn't.
My friend is crazy.
Hey, not my fault I believe in merfolk.
You believe in what?
Merfolk. Him. I told you my dad took me fishing every weekend, right? He had all kinds of stories about the merfolk in Rainy Lake. I think I even saw one once.
You believe in mermaids?
You've got one sitting right there in your boat.
Merman, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not at all. I just want to get that established before we go any further.
Well, whatever you are, would you please just get out of my boat and swim away?
Are you done fishing?
Probably for the rest of my life, yes. You knew these things existed and you never told me?
You never asked?
I never asked about Bigfoot either.
Oh, he's real too.
He is?
Excuse me, but I really must ask for your attention. I can only stay on the drywood for a little while.
On the dryword?
Hey, is that what you guys call being out of the water?
It is.
Cool. I learned some mer-speak.
Please, madame, if you would, I simply must speak with your friend.
Oh, yeah? What about, fishy?
Oh, that is between her and I.
Well, it's a small boat, so you may as well get talking, because I'm gonna hear one way or the other.
Is your friend always like this?
Sort of.
Then I suppose I shall proceed. First, I must confess, I've been eavesdropping.
You've what?
I've been under your boat this whole time, listening. I'm afraid I scared away most of the fish. Sorry.
That's okay, I guess.
Why were you listening?
I was listening to her.
Ooh, I gotta get some of that popcorn. This is getting good.
Listening to me?
You've left your mate, have you not?
I guess.
That interests me. That interests me very much.
I don't understand.
You are in need of a mate, correct?
Well, I wouldn't say in need exactly.
That's right. A woman needs a man like a fish. Never mind.
Forgive me. I should introduce myself. I am Seaboar of the Oyster Clan, third son of the Duke of Mudbottom, heir to the third deepest canyon in Blackwater Bay.
Oh, well, that's nice.
And I come to you today to offer my hand in marriage.
Wouldn't that be Finn in marriage?
How vulgar!
Oh, wait, did I just learn how to cuss in mer-speak? This is awesome!
Dot, could you just be quiet a second?
Kiss my Finn, fish boy.
Shut up! I am so sorry.
It's quite all right. The pretty ones always have a crazy, less attractive friend.
Hey!
But backing up, did you say something about marriage?
Oh, I did. You are in need of a mate. I am in need of a mate. Is it not natural that we should consider each other?
Natural would be about the last word I'd come up with.
Oh, yes, you're concerned about our families? Don't worry. We're a very open-minded clan.
Yeah, well, we're open-minded too, but there's a limit, you know.
Limit!
First, you should come down and visit. You'll have to pop up to the surface and breathe now and again, but other than that, it's wonderful in the spring.
I'd only get to breathe now and again?
It just takes a little practice. Look, here I am completely at home in your element. Our two species can easily coexist.
Yeah, well...
No, excuse me. Sorry, had to take a breath.
That's okay. Look, you seem really nice.
Thank you. You seem really nice as well.
Yeah, thanks. But the thing is, I don't think I'm ready to join your world.
Don't be silly. It's already done.
What?
It's already been done. I have sought approval from my sire and Hatch, and both have granted it.
Sire and Hatch?
Mom and Dad. They got weird names for everything down there.
How many stories did your dad tell you anyway?
Oh, tons. Don't even get me started on the wood nymphs.
What do you mean, you have approval?
I have the approval of my sire and Hatch to take you as my mate, so I am here to take you as my mate.
And I don't have anything to say about it?
Of course, dear, don't be cross. The last thing I'd want is for you to be angry at me.
Well, okay then.
We'll just get you fitted for this chain and everything will be all right.
Chain?
Oh, boy.
Don't you like it? It was my mother's.
What are you going to do with that thing?
Oh, chain you to my cave, of course. Oh, don't worry. There'll be enough slack for you to swim up and take a breath every now and again.
Why would you chain me to your cave? Are you afraid I'm going to escape?
Not exactly.
Well, then what exactly?
I'm sorry, I should explain. The chain is really more of a tradition than necessity. It's a symbol of our relationship. I have my trident with which I hunt for food. You have your chain that keeps you tied to our home, tending and cooking and cleaning and doing all the things the great creator fish intended females to do.
Did you know about any of this?
No, but it all sounds about right. Dad always said mermen were crazy conservative. He warned me never to get caught by one.
Why have you never told me any of this?
Oh, because I'm the crazy, less attractive friend, remember? I didn't think you'd believe me.
Look, Mr. What was it again?
Seaboard. Call me Seaboard.
Mr. Seaboard, you seem like a really nice fish, but it would never work between us.
I don't understand.
See, I'm human, and you're a merman. A relationship like ours could never work out.
What does work out mean?
Gosh, this is hard.
Yeah, who knew shooting down another species would be difficult?
Well, it's just when two people or two whatever get together, they should be compatible. They should have something in common.
But what you said to your friend it belies such an idea.
What?
Forgive me, but as I say, I was eavesdropping. You now say similarity is what makes a good match? That is not what you said before.
It isn't?
No, you had a much better understanding of the way of all creation.
I did? Well, it doesn't really sound like me.
No, it doesn't.
It is not a matter of compatibility, it's a matter of combat.
What?
The struggle of two beings who have nothing whatsoever in common, fighting for influence on the young, on their lives, on everything. Why do you think my clan agreed to our match? Because we are the same? No, because we are different. Incredibly different. You, Shirley of the Nelson clan, will make me a better merman by forcing me to keep you in line, and I will make you a better whatever you are by forcing you to serve me instead of your own selfish desires.
Forcing me to what?
You will serve me, Shirley of Nelson, because otherwise you will be doomed to spend your life thinking only of yourself, and a gloomy existence that will be.
Do you believe this? Dot?
Well, you gotta admit, he makes a pretty good pitch.
Okay, when we get back, I am burning all your romance novels. And you, fish boy, I just got out of a relationship, and I am not ready to be in another one. And I am certainly not ready to be chained to a cave serving your every need.
But everything you said about wanting your grandmother's lot.
My grandmother wasn't a slave.
When you knew her, she wasn't. But what about before? Before you or your mother or any of your grandmothers young? Do you think she actually chose that life? Or was she beaten into it like all females need to be?
Okay, you're going to get out of my boat now.
I am going nowhere without you. You and I will always... Ow!
Get out of the boat, fish face.
What is that?
A club for subduing unruly fish.
Ow!
Works good, don't you think?
You cannot do this. Ah!
Kind of looks like I can.
Fine. Stay your club, she-beast. I will go. But know that with me any chance of happiness will swim away.
You think the only way I can be happy is chained to a cave?
I think the only way you can be happy is to be who you are. This pretending to be something you're not will only lead to misery. The same misery you were feeling when I jumped into your boat.
Well, at least it's a misery I know well. Now scoot before I thump you again.
Very well. But you're missing out. Our 4th of July celebrations down there are amazing.
Well, that was weird.
Do you believe that guy?
I thought he was kind of dreamy.
Dot?
Well, call me a romantic.
I'll call the loony bin is what I'll call.
Still, what he was describing? That would have been pretty close to what you were describing about your grandma and stuff.
Well, yeah, I guess it would be. But I still don't want to be chained to a cave.
Nobody does. The point is, you can't have your cake and eat it too. If the rules are all clear and everyone's job is set up for them in advance, then you have to do things whether you want to or not. I mean, I kind of like making Greg a sandwich now and then. He's so appreciative when I do. But the point is, I'm making it because I want to, not because I have to.
Wow, Dot. That's really profound. Especially for someone who believes in mermen.
Believe? What do you mean? One was just sitting in your boat just now.
Was he?
What?
Was there a merman in my boat, or did I just need to think about some things?
No, there was definitely a merman in your boat.
Come on, let's get out of here. I'm done with fishing.
Good. The salon? Or the casino?
Actually, I'm thinking of going up to the shack and shooting some deer.
Okay, but if one of them proposes, he better have a friend.
This has been Heads and Tails, a story from the rack, written and produced by Jeffrey Adams. The cast featured Vicki Olsen as Shirley, Ayla McIntosh as Dot, and Jeffrey Adams as Seaboard. This program, copyright 2014 by the Icebox Radio Theater, all rights reserved. Learn about supporting the IBRT and New Audio Theater at iceboxradio.org.
radio, internet, iPod. There are many ways to listen to the Icebox Radio Theater. And now, for the collector in you, we'd like to add the mailbox to that list. Subscribe to the Icebox Radio Theater, and every month you'll receive a compact disc in the mail with our latest plays, songs, and skits in top-quality audio and without commercials. It's a great way to build a collection or introduce our unique brand of radio storytelling to someone who doesn't particularly enjoy computers. Know an old-time radio fan? Give an IBRT subscription as a gift to let them know the golden age of radio is on its way back. Become a member of the IBRT and receive a special discount on your subscription and one for a friend. Just visit iceboxradio.org and click on the Store link for more information. The Icebox Radio Theater, bringing the Northland stories to you.
Oh, it's getting late, my friend. We must be bedding down for the night. Many people camp in these woods. It's very safe most of the time. Even safe enough for little Girl Scouts. Here I give you the final selection of the evening. It is Camping Out.
A long time ago, in the 1950s, the area Girl Scouts held their day camps at the Boy Scout camp on Rady Lake. School buses picked them up at a different city parks in the morning and returned them in the afternoon. As our story begins, there is a group of girls waiting for the bus at Carson Loop Playground. Among them are a lot of little girls, all from Troop 152 with sleeping bags.
Why do you little girls have sleeping bags? Don't you know this is a day camp?
Because our leaders said we could stay overnight. We begged and begged and begged, and finally they said we would stay with us.
Gee, you're lucky. Our leaders would never stay with us.
Make friends, but keep
Everyone, have a seat. Everyone must sit while the bus is in motion, please.
The others go a circles round. It has no At 4, after a fun day at camp, the bus arrived and Troop 152 waved goodbye to the girls leaving on the bus.
Mrs. Smith, can we put up our tents now?
Where do we set up our tents?
We are going to camp in Unit 1, where we day camped. Miss Smith and I are going to spend the night in the lodge. Let's walk back to the unit.
Okay, here we are. Is everyone ready? Find a level place for your tent and decide where you want the door. The first edge you unroll will be the side where the door is. Lay the tent out flat with 2 girls in opposite corners. Put in the corner stakes. Then do the other 2 corners. Assemble the poles and raise the ends. Then put in the middle stakes. Adjust the ropes so the tents are nice and square with no sags.
Hey, Sally, Georgia, Becky, let's watch how they put up their tent before we try, okay?
Why?
I want to see how they get these stakes in the rock.
Does anyone know where the hatchet is? I need to pound this in.
Sally, what are you doing?
Trying to pound in these stakes. I can't get them in.
By wildly swinging an axe over your head? You could have killed someone. Stand back, girls, while I pound this in. Oh!
You bent the stake.
Just put some rocks in the corner to hold the stakes down. The soil is too shallow. We are hitting the bedrock.
Bonnie and I are going to start the fire for supper. We're the fire brothers tonight. The rest of you are on caper for cooking. So, you should go get the food as soon as your tent is put up. Come on, Bonnie, let's collect some firewood.
Okay.
Hey, we're all going on a hike. Do you want to come with us?
No, we have to unpack our bags.
Okay, if anyone wonders where we are, we're going to look at Unit 7, where the older kids usually stay.
Does anyone know what poison ivy looks like?
No, I thought you did.
Is there any around? Did you see some?
I know it has 3 leaves, and I've seen pictures, but I'm not sure I would know it in the woods. Don't any of you remember?
I'm immune, so I never bothered to pay attention. Do you guys know if you're immune?
I know I get it, so I'm not touching anything.
How come you didn't tell us it's poison ivy out here?
Well, why do you think they only let the older girls stay out here? They're supposed to know those things. Come on, there's the campsite.
Look, there's a sand beach. I'm going.
Sally, Georgia, come back. You know you're not supposed to run.
Hey, look, there's minnows swimming. Do you think we can swim here?
We'd better not. You know the leaders are no swimming because the lifeguard. But that doesn't mean we can't go wading, does it?
I don't believe you guys. Mrs. Patterson is going to have a fit. We are going to be in so much trouble. If you don't get out of the lake right now, I'm going to tell them what you're doing.
Oh, Becky, you're such a prude. I don't know why we asked you to come with us. We're not really breaking any rules. We took a nature hike. We're buddied up. No one is alone. If you go off through the woods alone, you're the one who is in trouble. You're such a stick in the mud. Why don't you just go back to the lodge by yourself through the poison ivy?
Georgia and Sally, come up here so we can explore the rest of the unit. Let's go.
Hey, look! It looks like someone started to build a cabin. Hurry up! It's just the floor part. Who do you suppose built it?
I don't know, but I'm sure we're still on camp property.
There's a trail. I wonder where it goes. Let's explore. Come on, you guys.
It's only the trail to the outhouse. Come on, you guys. It's time to go back.
I guess you're right, Becky. We have been gone a long time.
Sally, shh, look at the plant. Is it poison ivy?
Nah, that's just a strawberry plant. But I'm not so sure about this stuff. Let's take it back and ask Mrs. Smith what it is.
Sally, are you sure you should be picking it if you think it's poison ivy?
I'm immune. Besides, we don't know for sure that it is poison ivy.
What's taking you guys so long?
Oh, we're just picking some stuff for the centerpiece for the table. We're right behind you.
Mrs. Smith, can you come out here? We have something that we want to show you.
What have you got?
Sally, show her.
Oh, no. Where did you find that?
We went on a hike down by Unit 7. We wondered if it was poison ivy.
It is. How many of you were in this?
I picked it. Georgia was beside me on the trail. Bonnie and Becky were ahead of us. I don't think they went off the trail.
Well, you had better go scrub off with soap right away. Did you touch anything since you got back?
Does Georgia have to scrub off too?
Better safe than sorry.
What am I supposed to do with my bouquet?
Why don't you drop it at the bottom of that trash barrel?
Hand me the soap, okay? Boy, was that ever dumb.
What do you mean?
Picking poison ivy. Jeez, I thought you were smarter than that.
There's no harm done.
That's easy for you to say. You're immune. I'm probably allergic to that stuff.
Well, just scrub off. You didn't really touch anything. Besides, this soap will kill anything. Hurry up. I'm going to start browning the hamburger. The sloppy joes will be done soon. Ouch! This is really hot. Someone trade with me.
I can do it. It's my turn.
Dinner is ready, everyone. Hostess, it's time for grace so we can eat. Oh, the Lord's been good to me, and so I thank the Lord for giving me the things I need, the sun and the rain and the apple seed. The Lord's been good to me.
These are great. I love s'mores.
Me too.
That's still a great fire, but we should let it burn down now. It's getting late and dark. It's time for one more story. Requests?
Mrs. Smith, will you tell the story of the old lady of Stop Island?
Are you sure? Everyone settled?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Once there was an old lady who lived on Stop Island. See that island out there to the east? Stop Island is right behind it. You just can't see it because the other island is in the way. The old lady lived on it with her 2 daughters. They were 8 and 12, just about the age of you girls. Their house was high up on a cliff. The cliff is 20 feet straight down, and the water is 15 feet deep right at the edge. One evening, when the old lady was working in her garden, the girls were playing near the edge and fell in. The old lady heard them calling for help. She ran to the cliff and saw them struggling, clasping each other. As she scaled down the cliff, the sun dropped behind the pines. She could no longer see or hear her girls. She swam out to where she thought she saw them and dived and dived and dived. She searched after dark by moonlight. She never found them. No one did. She went crazy. Since their bodies were never recovered, the old lady started to believe they swam to another island or shore and got lost. Now she paddles around the lake, close to Stop Island, looking for her children. She doesn't live on the island anymore, but still searches for her daughters. Her youngest had a scar on her forehead. That's how she thinks she will recognize them in the dark, even after all this time. Now, when she hears kids camping, especially girls, she paddles toward the voices. And after dark, when everyone is asleep, she creeps through the camp, feeling everyone's forehead like this.
I have some pimples on my forehead. Do you think a crazy person will think there is a scar?
I have a 2-inch scar on my forehead. What am I gonna do?
I want to go home!
Anyone who wants to sleep in the lodge with us is welcome. You can gather your stuff while I put out the fire, and we will walk up together. Good night, girls. Sleep tight, and don't let the bed bugs bite.
I'm sure glad to be in here instead of out there.
Me too. Night.
Good night.
Good night, girls. Charlotte, it's time. They're all asleep.
Alice, are you really going out to feel the girls' foreheads?
Come quietly. We're almost there. Whistle softly if you see anyone stirring in the tents. Another successful evening.
Alice, why do you do this?
It's the best part of the story. I wonder what tales we will hear in the morning. It's time for bed.
Are you awake?
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel anything last night?
What do you mean?
I thought I felt a hand on my forehead. Did you feel or hear anything?
Well, I think I might have felt something, but I was almost asleep, so I'm not sure. Sally, are you awake?
Huh?
Wake up!
Okay, I'm awake. What's going on?
Georgia thinks the old lady came up to her camp last night and felt our foreheads. Did you notice anything?
Well, Did you feel anything or not?
It just doesn't seem possible, does it? Wasn't it just a story? You don't think there really is an old lady, do you?
No, but I know what I felt. Let's see if anyone else noticed anything. Let's go.
Hey, you guys, can we come in? Georgia thinks she felt the old lady in her tent last night. Do you believe that?
Stop shaking your head at me, Becky. Just because you sleep like a log doesn't mean we all do, you know. Come on in, you guys. Come sit here. Did any of you guys hear or feel anything?
Just as I was drifting off, I thought I heard something, but I'm not sure what it was. It could have been the wind or some animal running by. I know I didn't feel anything.
I didn't feel or hear anything.
Not me. Nothing. I know what I felt. And what I felt was a hand feeling my forehead. At any rate, I'm getting up now. Where are my glasses?
Do you think she felt anything? She sure seemed convinced. Do you think we should tell Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Patterson?
Do you think they would laugh at us?
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay then, as soon as we see them, we'll ask.
Come on, Georgia and Bonnie. We have to take down our tent. Then let's check the lodge to see if Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Patterson are up yet.
This has been Camping Out by Sheila Titoni. The campers were played by Gracie Barr as Bonnie, Rebecca Salo as Sally, Ellie Nelson was Becky, Jessica Kulig was Georgia, and Gavia Yunt was Betty. The leaders were played by Karen Salo as Mrs. Smith and Cassie Salo as Mrs. Patterson. Other voices provided by the talented cast. Directed and edited by Jeffrey Adams. Sound effects by Dave Irwin. This program copyright 2014 by the Icebox Radio Theater. For more information on supporting the IBRT and on new audio theater, visit iceboxradio.org.